First time to the council chambers. I will open session now, and can we have a roll call vote, please? Or roll call, please.
Commissioner Berman.
Present.
Commissioner Domerat. Into the microphone, please.
Present.
Commissioner Ferguson.
Present.
Commissioner Godwin.
Present.
Commissioner Leal.
Present.
Commissioner Wright.
Present.
Thank you. And next, salute to the flag. Commissioner Leal, can you lead us, please? Yes. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner Leal. Next up is administrative business, and going to open for any comments prior to administrative business, if there's any public comments or commission comments.
There is no one on the line.
All right, thank you. First item of administrative business, approval of the order of agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the order of agenda? Commissioner Wright?
I'll move to approve the agenda, but I wanted to say thank you for being here to lead us today. I know we appointed you in absentia, but thank you very much.
Thank you, Commissioner Wright, and welcome to the Planning Commission. It's nice to meet you in person also.
Thank you.
Is there a second for the motion? Commissioner Godwin?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Can we have a vote, please? And that passes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And next item, the approval of the April 28th, 2022 minutes. Would someone like to give a motion to approve the April 18th minutes? Commissioner Ferguson?
I move we approve the minutes as included.
Commissioner Domerat?
Second motion.
Motion and a second. Please vote. Six yeses. Thank you. Next item is designation of liaison to the City Council meeting, which will be held on May 9th. And the items that require a liaison are the growth management ordinance introduction and the 570 Crespi appeal. Staff, can we have a little background, please?
Of course, Chair Berman. So the first item, the growth management ordinance introduction, it's an item that the Planning Commission considered and made a recommendation to approve to the City Council. And so the item before the City Council will be whether to introduce the ordinance for potential future adoption at a second reading. The other item, 570 Crespi, that was a development project that the Planning Commission considered and approved, and also made recommendations for approval of several legislative items, including a development agreement, general plan amendment, and a rezoning. And so, and a zoning text amendment. And so the project is a mixed-use project with commercial and residential units, 19 residential units, and certain public improvements and developer benefits for proposed through the development agreement. And so there's been an appeal filed of the Planning Commission's action on that item.
Thank you. And then also, just to be clear, we could also have one commissioner represent both items, or we could have two separate commissioners, correct?
That's correct.
Okay. Do we have any volunteers? Understanding that not all of us were present for either or both items, perhaps. Commissioner Leal.
I can attend that evening for both items.
Thank you, Commissioner Leal. I don't think anyone else will battle you for that. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, and that ends administrative business items. On to oral communications. So this portion of the agenda is available to the public to address the Planning Commission on any issue within the subject matter jurisdiction of the commission that is not on the agenda. The time allowed for any speaker will be 3 minutes. Are there any public comment cards or call-ins?
There is no one on the phone.
Okay, no call-ins. I'll close oral communications. Next, consent items. Looks like there are none. And on to public hearings, new public hearings. So we have one item tonight, and it's amend SP-163-17, file number 2017-007. Consider a request to amend condition of approval number 6 of Planning Commission Resolution number 2019-014 to grant a 1-year extension of the expiration date of specific plan SP-163-17, which authorized construction of a 2,460 square foot 3-story single-family dwelling on a 5,077 square foot undeveloped lot at to be determined Fairlawn Avenue, assessor parcel number 009-085-430. The recommended CEQA action is Class 3 categorical exemption, CEQA guidelines section 15303. Recommended action is amend the prior approval by adopting the attached resolution. Can we please have a staff report?
Yes, good evening, Planning Commissioners. I am Senior Planner Bonnie O'Connor. On April 15, 2019, the Planning Commission approved specific plan SP-163-17 for the construction of a single-family dwelling on an undeveloped lot on Fairlawn Avenue by adopting resolution number 2009-14. In accordance with condition of approval, or COA, number 6 of the resolution, the initial term of the specific plan was 2 years, expiring on April 26, 2021. Prior to expiration, the applicant submitted a request for the specific plan to be extended by 1 year. In accordance with COA 6, the planning director administratively approved the 1-year extension of the specific plan to April 26, 2022, based on the finding that no material changes in the circumstances considered during the Planning Commission's initial approval of the permit had occurred. In March 2022, again prior to expiration, the applicant submitted a request for an extension of the permit from the Planning Commission in response to the language in COA 6 of the resolution that provides the Planning Commission to permit a single 1-year extension. And I'm sorry I went through that a little fast for my slides, but I want to just acknowledge that we have slides showing the project location, the front elevation of the proposed structure, and then a timeline of the history of the application. So tonight, the Planning Commission's action is to effectuate the language in COA 6 to consider a single 1-year extension request. Neither the COA or the Pacifica Municipal Code provides criteria for determining when an extension is appropriate. Staff recommends considering if circumstances applicable to the project site and surroundings have changed since initial project approval in a manner which would be likely to affect the Commission's ability to make the findings for the project approval if the project were to be considered at present. Based on the recommended criteria, staff recommends Planning Commission approval of the 1-year extension as the city's general plan, zoning district regulations, and design guidelines applicable to the project site have remained the same, as have the findings for the approval of a specific plan. The use of the site has not changed. There's been no known changes in landform or environmental settings, and no significant development has been permitted or constructed in the vicinity of the project. That concludes my presentation, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you, Senior Planner O'Connor. I'll bring it back to the commission if there's any questions for staff. Commissioner Ferguson.
A question on the extension. Is that 1 year to begin work or 1 year to complete work?
It's 1 year to pull a building permit and establish the use.
Commissioner Domerat.
So maybe just for my education, has there been any kind of allowance or desire by the city of Pacifica to allow some automatic extensions due to the fact that this was supposed to be exercised during the COVID timeframe where a lot of things were either delayed or whatever? I mean, it just seems like, It just seems like, construction that should have been happening during that time would have been delayed, and many other projects possibly too. So I don't know if there's a desire by the city to come up with something that, wouldn't have to come to the Planning Commission and just said, okay, if it was during the COVID type of time frame, that we should just give an automatic 1 year extension.
Yes, good evening, Commissioners. I'm Acting Planning Director Christian Murdoch. The possibility exists for the City Council to consider such a policy action. The Council to this point has not. In my experience, COVID was impactful in many ways, but the ability to undertake construction projects has not been meaningfully impacted for applicants that I have engaged with. And so I think there are various supply chain and other considerations that might affect the project once it's underway, but very many applicants have been able to continue with projects, just adjusting to the social distancing and other criteria required during various stages of the pandemic. And so we think that the options that exist for administrative extensions, for instance, or to come back to the Planning Commission where allowed, have provided the flexibility as needed. And lastly, the state legislature has actually provided for 18-month extensions for various types of larger projects involving housing. And so all of those together, I think, have allowed applicants, by and large, to proceed without great difficulty.
I'm seeing no other, hands raised, lights for questions. So I think we'll welcome the applicant up to speak. And Acting Director Murdoch, they have 10 minutes, but if they would like, they could save 3 minutes for responding to public comments. Is that correct?
That's right. So the applicant can reserve up to 3 minutes of the 10 minutes for a rebuttal. And so they may reserve some or all or some portion of the 3 minutes.
Okay. I'd like to welcome the applicant up.
I apologize for the need for this hearing. The reason is because of a personal health issue. I failed to obtain the building permit for my specific plan before the expiration date. I did, however, submit the finished plan, and it was reviewed before the expiration date. I am presently applying plan corrections from that review. I had a slim hope that with modern computer technology, the plan review might have been complete before the expiration date. This would have allowed the building permit before the expiration date. There was, however, insufficient time for this to happen. I do guarantee no further delays will occur. This concludes my statement.
Thank you. And actually, I forgot, can you please state your full name for the record?
Thomas Stephen Podesta.
Thank you, Mr. Podesta. Does the commission at this point have any questions for the applicant? Commissioner Godwin.
Yeah, Mr. Podesta, this looks like still a pretty good project to me, but what seems to have changed from 2019 is the desirability of using natural gas in new housing constructions.
Sorry, I couldn't quite understand.
Well, let me try again, see if this is better. Are you able to hear me now?
My name?
No, we aren't communicating well. Is my mic on?
It's on.
Okay.
I will repeat your question if you want to say it in full, and then I'll repeat it to him if you'd like.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you. Yeah, it seems like the one thing that's changed from 2019 is desirability of building houses with natural gas. PG&E has said that they aren't interested in putting in any more natural gas infrastructure. The state has indicated they're going to ban natural gas in buildings. Obviously, the war in Ukraine, there's a lot of people dying from weapons that are funded largely from gas and oil exports from Russia. So is there any interest on the applicant's part to make this an all-electric house? At least when I looked at the plans, it appeared it used both a gas water heater and gas heat.
So he's asking, he's acknowledging that natural gas in his current environment is less desirable? No, the use of natural gas as an energy source in your plan is less desirable these days. What is your desire to use natural gas in this design, and do you have any desire to make it an all-electric?
It would, would do all electric. The only natural gas I would use is for the fireplace. The only natural gas I think I would need is for the fireplace. Everything else I would do, all electric. I'm all for, modern, advanced technology.
Thank you. That was my only question.
Are there any other questions from the commission for the applicant? Seeing no other questions, I'll open it up to public comment. And seeing no cards in the audience, are there?
No one's on the phone.
Okay, no one's on the phone. I'll close public comment then and bring it back to the commission for deliberation. And if there's no more questions or concerns, happy to entertain a motion. Commissioner Ferguson?
I guess I was not yet on commission when this project came out, but I looked at the old commission agenda, and it seems still like a good project to me. Nothing has changed. He's already in plan review, so if no other debate, I'm willing to make a motion.
I guess kind of touching off of that, I think I'm the only person currently on the commission that actually was here for this item, and I think your take of the minutes is accurate. There were no concerns at the initial approval. I personally have no concerns with extending the expiration date.
Do you mind if I proceed with the motion?
Sure, great. Please.
I move that the Planning Commission finds the project exempt from the California Environmental Quality Act and amends the condition of approval number 6 of resolution of 2019-014 of Planning Commission of the City of Pacifica in its entirety to provide that the approval or approvals are valid until April 26, 2023. If the use or uses approved are not established within such period of time, the approval shall expire. In the event of litigation filed to overturn the city's determination on the approval or approvals, the planning director may toll the expiration of the approval or approvals during the pendency of such litigation by adopting the resolution included as an amendment, attachment A to the staff report, and incorporates all maps and testimony into the record by reference.
Thank you, Commissioner Ferguson. Is there a second? Commissioner Leal?
I'll second the motion.
We have a motion and a second. Please vote. And that passes. We have 6 yeses and no nos. Congratulations, Mr. Podesta. You have your extension. All right, so closing the new public hearing section of our agenda, moving on to communications. Commission communications. Are there any commissioners with communication items? One item or 2 items that I wanted to communicate to the commission is an official welcome of Commissioner Wright. Again, happy that you're here and really looking forward to getting to know you. And then I also wanted to thank the commission for their kind words while I was absent last meeting. I'm really honored to be appointed chair, and I want to congratulate Commissioner Hauser for being vice chair. But thank you, everyone, for their kind words. Any other commission communications? All right, staff communications.
Thank you, Chair. Nothing from staff this evening.
All right. So ending communications, I guess, is there a motion to adjourn? Commissioner Leal
I'll make a motion to adjourn this evening's meeting.
and Commissioner Godwin.
I will second the motion.
Motion and a second. Please vote. And that passes. We are adjourned, but anyone aggrieved by the action of the Planning Commission has 10 calendar days to appeal the decision in writing to City Council. If any of the above actions are challenged in court, issues which may be raised are limited to those raised at the public hearing or in written correspondence delivered to the city at or prior to the public hearing. Judicial review of any city administrative decision may be had only if a petition is filed with the court not later than the 90th day following the date upon which the decision becomes final. Judicial review of environmental determinations may be subject to a shorter time period for litigation, in certain cases 30 days following the date of final decision. Thank you, everyone. There's 3 here. There you go. No. Oh. There you go.